Hello you beautiful legends, and welcome to weekly update of Blunt Force Healing podcast. This is the summary episode, the first one, experimental one that I decided to do. So for the last 6 days I was doing daily check-ins, a couple of minutes episodes with daily updates, and in the blog I was putting some major or minor suggestions or ideas that I will be talking about in today's episode, which will be a longer, extensive weekly update. This is consecutive day number 581. So 581 days passed since I started this project, 581 consecutive days without any single day of a break. So consider it how difficult sometimes it is to keep up and record every single day and write the blog post every single day. There were moments where I doubted myself. Sometimes nothing happens that is worth writing about or talking about. But in my case, I actually started this project specifically because of that. I'm not a very organized person, and it's very hard for me to implement daily routines that will stick. So without further ado, it's a beautiful morning in Ireland, almost like an anomaly. We didn't have such a clear day in ages, and specifically since June probably 2023 we didn't have a full clear day here in Ireland. So it is quite unusual, and I just dropped Julian in Ballyshannon for his league match versus Earn Wanderers, and myself, I'm using the remaining time before the kickoff to get some coffee, and I'll come back and watch my beautiful and smart and skillful son playing Earn Wanderers, and we'll see what the result will be. And then afterwards, I'm not sure yet where we will go, because we will definitely go somewhere to enjoy the sun on the beach, and I'll probably be talking about certain things that I listed maybe during that stay somewhere at the beach, or maybe in the further segment at home. Not sure about that yet. This is experiment. This is first time I do the weekly update, so let's see how it goes. I'll be back shortly.
This is the first time she's ever adventurous. Oh.
So this is the second segment. Julian here with me. Hello.
Go check out the slide, come on.
I'll check it in a second. So
in the third segment, yeah.
we are at the moment in Mahera Beach, and I think it's like a nature reserve. It's a beautiful place, albeit
astonishing.
Yeah, but it's quite windy today, so
Well, we're behind dunes.
we had to hide behind dunes. The ocean is on the other end. This is basically a part of the bay and that plateau that is slowly
Submerging.
Yes, slowly submerging, because the tide is slowly coming back. Probably next 2 or 3 hours we will have water very close to us.
More than that. 4, more like.
You think so?
Yeah, the tide is 1741, I believe.
Yeah. So that's Mahera. You wouldn't believe it's Ireland.
Well,
But-
except the big mountains over here.
But it happens sometimes that we have a proper temperature and weather. And here we are, both of us.
Mommy's coming back.
So let me just quickly remind, but also inform Julian, because Julian doesn't know what I did.
What is it?
I kind of mentioned that at the beginning of the week, but I experimented with the new format, and every day I was posting a much shorter episode or shorter blog post with just a list of potential topics to talk about for each day. So they are very short posts, probably just a list of 3 or 4 items. And also the recordings were shorter, probably about 3 to 5 minutes. And it's all building up. So today I have the busiest day, Sunday, and I do the weekly update that's longer.
All right.
So it will be a longer post and longer summary video, which started with a segment
That's
here.
nice talk. That's a nice.
Yeah, so we'll see how it goes. For now, we are enjoying Mahera.
And you have to come check out the slide.
Yeah, I'll probably film it, and I'll continue on with the day, and we'll see what comes up next.
Yeah, boy.
And the final summary of the week will come after that. Just to show you how beautiful this beach is, it's amazing. It's already almost high tide, and there's still plenty of space. So it's a very nice beach, albeit it's always a bit windy. It was much colder and windier when we came. It seems like the wind changed slightly, so it's not as bad at the moment. But because it's exposed to the ocean, you always risk having wind here. So if you're one of the people, like for example my wife, that likes to lie down on the beach and not experience wind, then you probably should either avoid it or just come here and hide behind the dunes like we did. But as you can see, we could play football, and there's plenty of hidden caves along that shore and the cliffs. You can go almost as far as the end of those mountains, but obviously when it's a very low tide. Now the tide is coming back, so obviously there we need to restrain ourselves to the beach. So yeah, let us continue our walk. And we'll come back to the final segment of this first weekly update for week 16 of this year 2024. And the weather was amazing today and yesterday, so that's something that really pumped our energy levels and our moods, specifically because it was first 1 or 2 days full of sun, like the proper full days, since probably 2023. There were like the autumn days that were sunny, but never fully sunny with the clear skies like today, for example. So it's amazing. I hope we will have more days like that. But let me now go through those couple of points, exactly 6 points. So 6 points because there was 6 days, but I started kind of retroactively because on Monday I was listing stuff that was happening on Sunday, on Tuesday what was on Monday, etc., etc. So there are 6 points that I will discuss. So first is Mago Cliffs and Secret Waterfall on Sunday. The Brothers, The Heart and the Nest, which was on Monday. Then the Health Pursuit and Paranormal Stuff on Tuesday. Stormy Day and Chasing Dreams on Wednesday. Low Tide and High Mental State on Thursday. And Anomaly, The Nest, and Alright, that should be a blooper, but I won't cut it off. So the 6th one is Anomaly, The Nest, and The Miraculous Weekend, and I will explain everything, hopefully short enough, because I have literally 20 minutes to record it, stitch it, and upload it. So let's start from the first, Mago Cliffs and Secret Waterfall. On Sunday, we had terrible weather. It was still part of Storm Kathleen that was bashing Ireland and the UK, and there were constant heavy clouds of torrential rain coming through. But we still decided to use that Sunday and do some walk around morning or noon. And we decided to drive towards Mago Cliffs, where we were hoping that maybe weather will be slightly better. When we arrived, it was almost zero visibility, torrential rain, very heavy clouds, to the point that it got dark. But we decided to wait, and we waited long, for about 15, I think, to 20 minutes before it started easing down, and eventually it wasn't maybe sunny. I think sun spell happened once or twice, but it became dry and bearable. We didn't have to worry about the coats or any drizzle. So we went out, we did a hike up Mago Cliffs and back, which is about a mile up and mile down, a little bit less than that. So roughly about 3 kilometers total, forth and back. At the plateau of the cliffs, the wind was still very hard, so it was nice to just walk the trail. And the trail is well prepared. There are steps and everything is prepared for people. So it's nice, albeit it's still challenging because it's a high elevation gain in such a short walk. So definitely a good exercise. And then we went down. We visited Jetty at the shore of Loch Earn, and as we were coming back to the car, it started raining again, so we were lucky to get a dry walk up and down and return to the car. And later on during the day, Elizabeth stayed at home, but Julian and myself decided to drive towards Secret Waterfall, that is just after Killybegs towards the Sleeve League. And we tried to attempt and visit Secret Waterfall because it was supposed to be low tide, but because the storm was so strong and the winds were pushing water, especially in the open spaces of Donegal Bay, surprisingly, when we arrived, the tide was already very deep into the shore, which made us unable to reach the waterfall. So we only got to the first cave and had to return because it was too dangerous to reach it. So not the best, I would say, effort from our side, but we were still happy to spend time together. Julian was he's always happy with those activities when we do them together. And even though we were soaking wet because it was raining all the time, we really enjoyed it and returned home. So that was Monday. That was Sunday, and on Monday, obviously, it was work focused, and not much happened. But I was able to get on a call with my brothers, and spend some time with them. There was a slight incident that where my heart rate went suddenly to a very high 195, I think, beats per second, or beats per minute, sorry, per second. And I had to lower it with Valsava maneuver. I'll probably write about it later on. It's one of the techniques to drop the heart rate if it goes too high. And was definitely, it jumped from 93 something to 195. And I had one situation like that about a year and a half ago, where it went up to 210 when I was exercising on the pull-up bar. So it was strange, but not much happened. And later on, I just drove in the evening to enjoy the sunset near the Eagle's Nest, and that was the end of the day. And on Tuesday, I decided to focus a little bit on health because it was a scary thing, and that was already second day that I decided to top up or up my hydration daily. So every time in the morning I wake up, I go straight and drink the glass of water, and then the same before going to sleep in the evening. So that gives me extra 500 extra 500 milliliters, so about half a liter of fluids per day on top of what I drink normally daily. So it's quite a huge improvement. And about paranormal stuff. So paranormal stuff is just a funny thing, because Julian came up from school on Tuesday. They had like a storytelling situation or kind of organized event, and there was some person that was telling them legends about the ghosts and hauntings of the area where we live in. And obviously we don't believe in paranormal activity, but we also are not complete deniers of stuff that we are yet to learn from scientific perspective and from the research. There's definitely a lot of stuff that we don't know yet, and we might discover. So, but obviously not the ghosts per se. But the funny stuff was that the same evening, when everyone was asleep, I went downstairs and I was surprised because the front door of the house were half open. I think it was a draft that opened them. Maybe my wife or myself, we didn't close them properly and they got open, but it was a strange situation anyway. Well, nobody was in the house, so it wasn't any burglar or anything like that. And obviously Wednesday was a stormy day, so it was all about driving to Dublin for my wife's appointment in the hospital and coming back on time. Miraculously, we got on time, and at 7:30 p.m. Julian was able to go and participate in his soccer training, which is kind of his dream, to be good at football. So it's about chasing dreams a little bit. So I wanted to make sure that he still can make it for the training. He did, with his new shoes, which by the way were not super comfortable. He got a blister, so he needs to get used to them. And after their training, I played with the other guys that we play every week, and I got injured slightly, but while it was painful and I still feel it while walking sometime, and I see the bruise and the scar there. I'm pretty sure I'll be fine. So nothing major. Thursday was pretty much work, and not much happened. But I went in the evening in a gloomy and drizzly weather, after the sunset, when it was dusky. I went to Mont Charles. I spent some time, even though I got a little bit wet. It was low tide, and I was amazed to see how far the tide went out, to the point that the whole Mont Charles pier was uncovered. I went back to the car after some time. I spent some me time to make sure that I recharge batteries, and I went back home in a better state. And then on Friday, weather improved massively. It was more sun, less wind, there was no rain, albeit it was still cloudy, and we enjoyed the whole day. And in the evening, after the sunset, I took Julian with me to Eagle's Nest, where he wasn't ever. So it was first time that he saw this place, and he was amazed. The first words that he said was, "Jesus, how quiet this place is, and this is my place to relax mentally." So it was super feeling to be there with Julian and enjoying it. And we actually explored the shore, even though it was getting dark, and we went as far as the Eagle's Nest rock. And I didn't want to climb it because it was dangerous, but Julian was quite pushy, so we started a little bit, and it turned out that we managed to climb it and come back safely, even though it was kind of on the verge of being dangerous. And we returned over those slimy rocks back to the car safely. It was an amazing evening, and we thoroughly enjoyed it. So that's my weekly update. It's 10 minutes to midnight, so I need to stitch it now. Thank you very much for tuning in. Sorry about being so in rush, but I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know whichever channel you want to use. How does it feel? Is it better, the bigger updates at once, or smaller chunks along the week? I'm open for feedback. Thank you very much for being here. Stay tuned and see you tomorrow.